The social media platform I think will be most useful to you, that's been most useful to me in these last few months, for example, is ResearchGate. This was a site created in 2008, really launched in 2009, started in Boston and then migrated, I believe it's based in Germany now, although I'm not entirely sure. They currently have, they don't disclose a lot of their information, so they're one of these problematic, not very transparent companies, but they have somewhere on the order of north of 7 million users at last report. Although less than 1 million of those folks are active users, meaning they do something weekly, they have updated profiles, etc. ResearchGate has a membership bias in that it's really heavily represented by scientists in the life sciences, so biology folks, medicine, medical researchers, that kind of stuff. Also, it's not globally representative. Obviously, as you'll see in a second, it's in English, but North America is overrepresented, as is Europe and places like Brazil. Other places, there aren't as many folks, such as India, such as China, but it's what it is. It's a growing tool. So for many of your needs, the fact that it involves biology and the fact that it really has a home in North America is good enough for you, at least for a lot of your basic research here in California. Unfortunately, ResearchGate has engaged in a lot of the baloney social media practices that so often dominate these types of firms. They've gotten a bad rap for several years for doing things like sending unsolicited invitations to folks that make it oftentimes look as if it's coming from you. Similarly, they have a lot of robo-crawlers that go and find PDFs and put those PDFs up in its system, which in the context of what I'm talking to you about today, that's a great thing. That helps you find papers. But they make it look as if maybe members are more active than they actually are. So they're getting better with this, but realize they have been a little bit slimy, or a lot of it slimy in the past at least. ResearchGate is very similar to this other academic social media site called Academia, although ResearchGate I think is much more user-friendly and has more features that are more useful to you. But at the basic level, they really do the same thing. They're a Facebook, if you will, or a LinkedIn, if you will, for scientists. ResearchGate wants to be and is designed to be a social media hub for researchers, for scientists. They allow you to do a lot of things that you can do, say, with Facebook for your friends, but in this case, do it with your academic or research colleagues. The platform allows you to follow your colleagues or people you're interested in, or researchers that you think do good stuff, and or just their papers, just the scholarship that comes from them or their labs. There's a forum to post questions. You can answer questions, very specific targeted questions. They allow you to do blog posts. Typically that's organized around reviewing papers. Then most importantly for us, it allows you to post your own papers, but not just publish papers that we could get elsewhere, other things as well, conference talks, in-progress works, posters, stuff like that. So if someone is active on this site, it really is an opportunity for you to find information and insights in their work or their scholarship that you might otherwise not be able to get. ResearchGate also will host discussions about papers or academic topics. Something that you might find useful, they have a DOI service that allows you to ascribe a unique identifier to your work. Now, when you publish in a journal somewhere, that journal will attach a DOI to that paper, to that scholarship. But if it's something like a conference paper you might have done, or let's say you guys went and gave a talk somewhere at Western Society of Naturalists or someplace like that, where the talk is not published, you could upload that here and actually get a DOI and get a unique identifier, and that's a great thing. Not so much for you guys, but for older farts like me, some people are interested in metrics about how many people follow your research, all that kind of silliness. They're mostly really wastes of time and foolish ego things, in my opinion, but they do allow you to do that. And then ResearchGate is increasingly, just really in the last 6 months to year, I would say, really starting to post a large number of jobs, academic-related jobs. And so this might be useful, especially going on into the future for you. At the base of the network on ResearchGate is your co-author, your collaborators, the people you do scholarship with. You can expand your network in terms of people you follow and just like you can on any other social media platform. But really the nucleus is the folks that you are actively engaged with. The other neat thing that ResearchGate will do is it'll track when you get new followers. You get a sense of how many people actually look at your scholarship in this platform, not in general, but using ResearchGate. And they'll tell you when someone cites one of your papers, and that's pretty cool. Now, there's other services that do that, but it does it in a much more succinct, simple way, I believe. And also, they'll let you know when someone you're following has published a new paper, either a follow-on to one of their articles that you're following, or just they've done something new. And so that's a really useful function, I think, for you guys as well, as you're engaged in your scholarship, as you're growing your understanding of the research field. So let's take a look at what ResearchGate actually is and what it looks like. So this is the landing page. This is my landing page. So we have a home here. Now it's going to say, hey, here's some new papers you can check out, etc. If I go to publications, it's going to tell me, hey, check, there's all this stuff going on in your field. So with a little skim here, I can see stuff that's tailored to me. So again, the more you complete your profile and the more papers you followed, looked at, browsed, the algorithm here is going to be better at finding what is of interest to you, and so things will be more tailored to you, more useful. Now I can look at this, I can download it, I can choose to follow the publication, meaning if people are having a discussion about it, if someone cites this in their publication, which, hey, maybe I should go read that because this person thought this paper was useful, maybe I should check out what they're doing, etc. I can share this with someone else that I think might be interested in it. You can send it to me or someone else. It's a place to post questions. So if you guys do have a question about something, let's say you're in the middle of your research and you're not sure about a statistical analysis or something, you could post a question, say, hey, does anyone know about blah, blah, blah? Or has anyone tried to solve the blah, blah, blah problem? And anyone that sees these questions can answer them. And so if you see a question that you might have some insight to, you can go ahead and answer that. And again, it keeps track of all the questions and you can follow a question if you find it of interest, etc. And then, as I said, something that's probably growing in value to you is in the next couple years, you can actually get jobs here that, again, are tailored for your interest, for your skill set. So in this case, let's see what's going on. In this case, they think the robot here thinks that I might want to be a professor at University of Cincinnati, University of South Florida. They think maybe I might want to be the chair of geology at Tulane, etc. So a useful thing there. What I next want to do is just flag. So I would strongly encourage you guys to consider setting up an account. Again, with all our social media goings on here, you are not ever required to get on social media. But in this case, I think it could be quite useful to you and quite helpful. So let's take a look at my profile. This is going to say, be a roundup for me. So in this case, these are publications that I've done. Here's a publication. It said, hey, did you write this? And in this case, I didn't write it, so I'm going to, tell it later that no, I didn't write that paper. But of the ones that I've uploaded or it's found for me, there's 16 in the database. It's saying that, let's see. So I joined this group about, 6 months or so ago. That I joined ResearchGate about 6 months ago. And in that time, I've had about 1,000 reads of my various papers. They've been cited about 189 times. Now the citations aren't necessarily in the last 6 months, but they've been cited about 189 times. And then there's some silliness here. This doesn't really matter. This is how important you're supposed to be, which comes from a whole bunch of silly sources like how prestigious the journal is and stuff like that. But then here are the things that I've put in, and this is in the last week. People have read it read this paper 5 times, etc. I've gone in and I've put in things that I'm interested in, so that I have some proficiency in, and it says that I'm following 92 people and 27 people are following me. So if I post a new paper, they'll get a notice, for example. And this has a whole thing to do awards and achievements. Now you can actually have ResearchGate generate a CV for you, generate a resume for you if that's of interest. It'll go through and pull together all your publications, etc. You guys are more than welcome to try that. Although for your starting career stage, you don't have a ton of publications, and really this is optimized for people who have a lot of publications. So so go ahead and try it, check it out, see what it spits out for you, but probably not going to be super helpful to you. These are, again, this is my publications, so they're all listed here, all the ones I've uploaded at least, and I can go look at those. Info is, again, a little more detail about me, about my expertise and where I've worked, etc. Here are the statistics about me. So let's see, what does it say? So again, it says I have over 1,000 reads last week, and it's usually binned by the past week. So last week I had 11 reads. Last month I had 4 new citations, and last week 3 people viewed my profile to see if I was an idiot or not. There's some tracking here. So again, I don't know, first week in November I had about 30 reads. November 15th they only had about 7, back up to about 28. It's bouncing all around. So I usually have looks like between 10 and 30 people reading one of my papers in any given week. It tells you, hey, these guys read your paper. It says what paper. They read my paper on planting plants in poop in the salt marsh. A very, very sophisticated paper. And then this guy from New York University was reading one of my papers on grassland restoration. It also tells you, hey, so Ecuador, I'm big in Ecuador apparently, so that I'm blowing up Ecuador. 5 reads last week, 3 in the U.S., 2 from Poland, etc. It tells you things like, and then again, so this just drills down. We don't need to spend a lot of time on this, but it tells you how many people glanced at your publication, let's say. So this is 6 people read my summaries or looked at the abstracts, say, of my scholarship, and then about 5 people, not about, actually exactly 5 people in turn went and downloaded my publication. Let's see, it says, what does it say? Congratulations, your article reached 20 reads, so yeah, that's great. So 20 people have read that paper. What else did it say? Yeah, this other article got 20 reads. This is very exciting. Most read author from CSUCI last week. What else? From my department as well, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, so one of my papers has been cited by 20 other papers. So stuff like that. This thing here, this RG score is a bunch of baloney. It just sort of tells you, it's another way to basically say supposedly how important you are, but it doesn't really, it's just for silly people that care about numbers, that think their world revolves around numbers. Then of course there's alerts, there's things of attention here. You can send email, receive email, you can get notes, etc. So that's ResearchGate. I encourage everyone to sign up, try it out. If you don't like it, you can always delete it and get out. But check it out. Again, I think it is going to be a useful way for you to find additional references in new ways, separate from your reading of papers and finding sources that way. Again, a lot of these authors have actual publications up. So if we come up, let's look at so let's look. So again, here's some new things up. So here's this paper, I can download it. Here's a paper, I can download it. Here's a paper, I can download it. Now maybe those papers you can get elsewhere from our other searching techniques. But have a look. Here's one that is this new Texas A&M oil spill calculator that I have used in the past. And this sounds really cool, but note it's not actually up. It's not downloadable. It says request a full text. So if I click that, it's going to send a note to all the authors and say, hey, you guys haven't uploaded the paper. Would you mind doing that? And they don't have to. There's no requirement they do, but it actually signals to them, hey, somebody might be interested in this. And so there's a decent chance that, if it's an obscure thing, hard to find, hard to get, maybe it was a paper that someone gave at a conference, this is going to let them know that actually someone is actually interested in downloading that and possibly using that in their scholarship. So therefore, there's some motivation for me to go in, upload this, and then it'll be of value to someone. So ResearchGate is a useful tool. I want you all to try it, check it out, and follow a couple people, follow some of the professors you have or some of the authors of the papers you're looking at, and see if this is a useful tool, and let me know at the end of the semester. Again, whatever you do, ResearchGate, Google, library searching, don't forget to take notes all the time. You want to be able to know that you've been down this path and not double track when you are in the hunt for fantastic scholarship for your research. Thanks, you guys. Talk to everyone soon.